Hey everybody, welcome to the Unknown Prophet Tarot Readings. A little bit late this morning, but better late than never. Hey, how's it going, Master? Welcome to the show. Welcome to my tarot reading. How are you this fine morning? I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. So I just started, so you'd be the first one if you would like a reading. Otherwise, I can tell you a little bit more about me and my reading. I do tarot readings for a couple of hours and then go watch silly stuff on TV. Kind of gonna be a lazier day for me, I guess. Get a little 420 action going on later. Cool. Okay, so I do two different kinds of readings. Do you want a simple reading or a more complicated reading? If you want more of a past, present, future reading, we can do the simple. If you want the more complicated, that's I prefer people to be 18 plus, but as long as I know in advance and you know in advance that so are you 18 plus? But if you're not, if you're close, I can work with that. I can work with that. That's okay. That's close enough for me. So then what we need to find out is what kind of a reading you would like. Past, present, future. That's the most easiest one to do, or we can do a more extensive one that gives you a lot different choices. That's my five path, my path layout, which tells you more about your past path, your easy path, your hard path, your unseen path. An excited one. Well, let's just give you the one. Let's just give you the most extensive one because then we'll just, that'll probably be the one that gives you the most information. And usually that's more exciting to have more information. So, what I need from you is I need you to just tell me how many times you would like me to shuffle my deck. Pick a number 1 through 10. Okay, so we're back now. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to give you a reading now. I'm going to give you my most. I'm going to give you the most extensive one. So I need you to tell me how many times you want me to shuffle the deck, 1 through 10. Eight. Give me a second to shuffle 8 times here. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now you have to pick a number 1 through 52, and that's where your card reading begins. So pick a number 1 through 52. Give me a second to count that. right, now give me a second here, and I'm just laying out the cards here real quick. Okay, so here we go. We're going to give you what I call the 5 paths layout. So what I'm going to tell you about is what you've been doing in your past path up to this point. So here we go with what the past path is about. So always looking back to see what you've been through, acknowledging that you've made some mistakes. It's okay to look back and see some of those things, but you can't live in the past forever. Sometimes you have to turn yourself around and look forward. So what you got in your past path today was the Gardenia Rose card. Now the Gardenia Rose card is my mom's card. Now my mom was a single mother who was raising 2 children all on her own because her and her husband decided that they couldn't live with one another anymore. She raised both of us together, but she always was a very creative, kind, compassionate person. She was always there for me when I really needed her to be. She was the one who kept telling me all of the time, you have the power. You have the ability to be the person you want to be. You can be the happiest person you want to be. And I didn't always listen. So maybe someone in a mother-like figure has been telling you that you are capable of doing better, but you aren't listening for whatever reason, or maybe you should be listening because they've got a lot of good information, just you're not hearing it for some reason. But she was also one of those people who had a very intuitive side to her, so she always trusted her instincts. So when someone was telling her something was going wrong, she kind of knew something a little bit about it, but that's kind of why she got into trouble sometimes too. Sometimes too much information can be not the easiest thing for you to do. So kind of trust those little mother intuitions within yourself as well too. So if you have those kind of like a mothering side or something like that, then we're going to move on to your unseen path. Unseen path is all about not unseen. Sorry, your wait path. That thing you've been waiting for, the thing you've been waiting for an answer for, or something that you've been just taking a time to really make up your mind and make sure you're making the right decision. That's kind of what wait path is all about. Well, you got my dirt card. That means that you have finally stopped doing the one thing that you've been waiting to do your whole life. You had to let something die. You had to let it turn back into something more useful. So that past that you've had in your past that you've had that helped you get to where you are today has now turned into life-giving dirt. Now you can start planting the seeds of your future into your dirt. So now you've been waiting for yourself to kind of come to realization that now you have to start doing something with the soil and start a direction and start going forward from this point. So dirt is all about that. You let things die in a natural compressional way. So you've let everything you've had this mourning period, and now you're finally ready to start doing something with the dirt again and start living your life a little bit more forward again. So kind of going from there, now I'd like to ask you, do you want your easy path first or your hard path first? Give me a second to get some coffee here. Hard path. So hard path is all about overcoming adversity and overcoming those obstacles that are being put into our path. So trying to forge through with determination and getting through the path that was going. The hardest path for us to follow sometimes is pushing through that moment where we have to get through it. But I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but basically we create the journey we want to make. So the hard path for you is trying to forge your own future, putting yourself into the fire on purpose, getting yourself all nice and ready to be heated and molded into something that you want to be doing. You're heating up the metal and getting yourself ready to shape it into the thing you want it to be. Next, after you're done putting it into the forge and heating it up, then you have to start tempering it into the shape you want it to be. So right now you're getting yourself ready and building up that energy to be ready for that next stage of your life. So what this forge means is that You have to kind of go out there and find that inspiration, find that thing, because it's all about self-actualizing those dreams that you want to be done. So you have to go put those embers into that thing. You have to attend to that forge, make sure it's the right temperature for you, so that when you do put in that metal and you're ready to start tempering it into the shape you want it to be, it's nice, hot, and ready for you to go. So that might be something that you might not be doing a lot of, is getting yourself motivated to do it. What's the easier path for you to do? It's all about you. You see, in your hard path was forging it, but your easy path is molding it. So you're getting it ready for that forge. You're molding yourself into the shape you want it to be. You have to understand, that has to be a process of who you are and what you want to make yourself up to be. The molding process is all about you working with yourself and doing the physical, mental, or spiritual things you need to do in the real world, like getting therapy, or maybe going and getting some spiritual counseling, or maybe going back and talking to a good friend who's going to put your head back on straight, something like that. That molding that you are going to allow yourself to know. Are you going to allow people to mold you into what they want? Or are you going to mold yourself into what you want for a change? Is the part that you have to start considering now. So are you that? So what are you going to start being, the person who's in control of it, or you're going to be the one who's going to be controlled by it? You have to make that choice and decision of which way you want to go. So you can either be forging it with your all their passion and heart and work and doing it that way, or you can start, just working with yourself little by little, and then eventually you're going to become the shape you want to be. So going forward into your unseen path, that's that one thing that's been right in front of our nose the whole time, that we know that is right there, but we don't always see it because we're just so close to it. We can't possibly understand why we keep going through this thing over and over and over again. Well, I think it's all about you cherishing the things you have in your life. You might have more than than a lot of people out there in this world do have. Maybe you need to start cherishing the things you have surrounding you. In order to live a nice, healthy, happy relationship with yourself, you have to accept both of you, sides of you, have different agendas. One side is to learn for experience, to go and experience for experience sake, and one is to show that I have learned, and now that job isn't as hard to do anymore. Now I have to kind of learn how to cherish all parts of my life and how that aspect brings me closer together. That's a little bit of an easy and hard path for you to do sometimes, but it's obviously been probably popping up a lot more times than you would wanted to. So now we go to your next two choices, which is your leap of faith card or your home path card, or what's gonna. So which card do you want next? Do you want your easy path first, or do you? Or, I'm not sorry, leap of faith card, faith leap card, or home path? Yeah. Okay, leap of faith. So leap of faith card is where we're going to be jumping into. For you, this is basically saying this is where you need to jump into in order for you to find that little bit of what you're jumping into. We just don't know how we're going to land. Maybe this gives you an idea of where we're going to be landing. The easy path for a change. How about that? Since I already explained to you what an easy path is, it's a step-by-step progression where you take little goals, make little steps. You don't get to your goal very fast, but you do make lots of little monumental overcomes and over experiences of doing things a little bit by accomplishing a little goals at a little bit of a time. It's more fulfilling because you accomplish you see you're doing all those goals at the same time. So I find it kind of funny that your leap of faith is going back to that molding again, and maybe you have to really start really considering what you're molding yourself into, that you still have to take that jump. What scares you just a tiny bit, but you'd be damn good at. Maybe that's what it's saying to you. You know you'd be good at it. Just you're scared to take that leap because I don't know how I'm gonna land. Even though you see the pillows on down below. Okay, still scary taking the leap though. So what's kind of going on maybe at home right now, or what's going on with you in your own space right now, if and you got this card here and you got my sleep card. Maybe you are feeling like you're being attacked by a lot of little barbs right now. It feels like everything and anything can kind of hurt you right now, whether they're whispers about you or they're little looks at you, or maybe you're being a tiny bit too sensitive, because sleep is all about the weather that is happening to you. Okay, this is what's going on. This is the stuff happening to you now. What kind of weather did you see going on outside today? Did you dress appropriately for the weather that is going to be in the world that you want? So where you feel most at home is now you have to start to learn that, hey, there are still things that are going to hurt you out there, but you have to dress appropriately within yourself. Put that moment of physical armor on yourself, that mental armor on yourself, and that spiritual armor on yourself, so that when you go outside and it does decide to be really bad weather outside, you are now more protected by you just saying, hey, I'm confident about myself. I don't need to listen to those doubts and worries anymore because I know who I am. So that's basically saying there might be a lot of little jabs and barbs at you right now, but you are the one who gets to go, hey, I'm not going to allow this weather disturb my day. I am the sky. I am not the weather. I am not the sleet. I'm the sky. So that I'm having a really bad day, but so maybe there's been something going on at home that's a little bit more emotional for you to deal with, and it feels like you're kind of being stuck with these little pinprick needles. And just basically what I see in this whole thing, it's all about you growing and becoming a little bit more self-confident about yourself, getting you're ready for some movement in your reading here. It's just you have to kind of say to yourself, okay, enough waiting around. I have to start doing that. I start molding myself into the person I want to be, and now when I'm ready to put that into the fire and start heating that up so I can temper that so it's even stronger than before, blah blah blah. That's basically what I see in your reading so far, is what I'm saying, what I'm seeing for you. um, so hopefully that answers something of your questions of what's going on right now. Like I said, if it does nothing more than give you something to think about today, whether it feels like it was truthful for you or not truthful for you, at least I gave you something to think about today. Hey, even if you think that guy was wrong and make your own damn mind up and live the life you want to live, hey, I'm good with that. You know, I'd rather you go live the life you want to live than listen to silly old me or my silly old cards. But I try to help in the best way I know how to help. So hopefully that may be giving you something to think about at least a little bit today. But remember, always, the future is always in your own hands. No matter what I tell you here today, you have the right and responsibility to go live the life you want to live. So go live the best life ever. Good. All I want to know is that I did something that maybe help you today, and that's all that I care. That's the most important part of me doing these readings here, because I'm doing them to help people. If I get tipped some money, great. Oh, these certificates? I'm actually a ordained minister. So is my wife. So I'm an ordained minister. You don't know what that means? Okay, that means that I can marry people. I have the ability to give spiritual guidance to people because I have earned the right to become what is called a minister here in the state of Minnesota and the state of Minnesota. So I can basically perform rituals and or religious events for people who might need that. So that's what that means. I usually use it for like if I'm gonna be was marrying people who wanted to get married because they were the same sex here in America. And I wanted to make sure that I give them one person here who was able to say, I will be willing to do same sex marriages. So that's why I did it. Because I wanted to show that love didn't matter what kind of love is love in my book, and I don't care two grins who gets married for what reasons, as long as it's not a child and a 9-year-old man. I guess I'm okay with. You want to get sex, you're two consenting adults, okay. A little bit of my cigarette here. Okay, you have a good rest of the day. Thank you a lot for stopping by there, Master. Mm. Mm. All right, guys, I'm back. Yeah, it works. don't. Hey, son, how's it going? Welcome from YouTube. How are you doing today? Yes, you can. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help with some readings for you. Would you like a simple or complicated reading? Would you like past, present, future, or would you like a more of a where your path is going kind of a reading? So, so we can begin on doing what kind of reading would you like? Would you like a simple one, or would you like a more answers? Okay, then we will do that. And what I need from you is to tell me how many times you would like me to shuffle my deck. 1 through 10, please. And give me a second to shuffle 5 times for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now pick a number 1 through 52, and that's where your journey begins. That's where your reading begins. So pick a number 1 through 52. One, two, three, 5, and 6. Okay, 6 here. Okay. Hello, just popping in there. I'm just starting a reading for Sun here, so you'll be next there, Sandra. Okay, so just give me a second because I just started doing their reading here. So give me one moment here. So, all right, here's your reading there, son. So basically what my deck is designed to do is help you find the best possible path for you. In order to do that, we have to look in the past as well sometimes. So my past path is all about you reflecting on what has happened up till now. And if you live too long in the past, you get lost in there and don't always remember the mistakes that you've made and don't go moving into a different direction. So sometimes we get stuck, lost, looking at all the good memories, or sometimes all the bad memories, and we get just stuck there because we don't know how to move forward. So, whereas your past path taken you, it's all about that inner work that you've been doing. Okay, you got the inner oak card in my deck, which means you've been doing a lot of work on the internal of yourself right now, and you've been building up this self-confidence and building up this self-fortitude. The inner oak is all about you opening yourself up and getting ready to put the new different things that might not be so pretty sometimes inside your house. So sometimes you have to compromise with what you're going to be putting inside your house. You have to think about what's functional versus what's realistic and practical versus what looks pretty and will that might just be there for decoration only. So that's what you're kind of doing with your past, your past path right now, is that you are starting to look in towards that energy that is going in there. You have built that up, and now you are ready to start working to go forward, because now you have that strong, solid foundation that you were working on. Now you're ready to put other things in it that might not always be, might challenge you a little bit more. So where do we go from there on your wait path? What answers have I been waiting for? What am I waiting to get these answers? Are these answers ever going to come, kind of a deal? Or maybe I'm just waiting to make my mind up and decision to make the decisions I'm going to make. Well, you got my picture card. That's all about encompassing the whole big picture. You finally have done all of that work. You put the puzzle pieces together. Finally, they make sense to you. Finally, you see the picture that you want to represent to the world, but people are also seeing that picture of what you look at yourself as, and seeing the whole beautiful piece of artwork that you are making. Now, is this artwork all done and complete? No, maybe you want to add some color to this. Maybe you want to add some other flourishes to it. But basically, you have a deeper understanding of who you are and what you're about right now. You have the whole big picture. Now you have to move forward and stop waiting for that picture to get noticed. Now it's time for you to go out there and share that picture of who you have put. Now, would you like to go down your easy path first or your hard path first? Son, if you're still with me, would you like to go down your hard path or okay, easy path first? Okay. So easier path, that's when you're making small step-by-step goals, and you're accomplishing a little at a time. So you're setting a little goal, accomplishing that goal, and then giving yourself a small break. Then going and setting yourself another small goal. It takes you a long time to get to the big goal, but you obviously take your time doing it so you don't wear yourself out as fast. So what your easier path should be is you should be stoking the fires that you want to keep lit within yourself. Stoking those fires means you have to pay attention to the fire that you have created within yourself. You have to feed that fire so that you can have the energy that you need to move forward in those journeys that we are taking, because we have to be the one who keeps ourselves motivated. So this is basically a self-motivation card, basically saying you are in control of how hot you want the fire to go. How easy the path is for you to do is just having that right time of adding that log at the right time, keeping it going at a steady pace, but you're also keeping it going so it's going to keep you warm, keep you motivated, keep you all the energy you need to keep going forward. And as long as you keep paying attention to those things you're passionate about, it's going to be a little bit of an easier time for you to go through. Now, what's the contrast of doing that? And what's the hard path that you need to worry about? Maybe this is a little bit more difficult for you to do, or some things that can be kind of hard for you to overcome, because it seems like an insurmountable task for you to get over, because there are hills, valleys, dips, there are rocks, trees, and things are in the way that are going to take you a while to get through this path, but you're obviously going to feel like you made some kind of good progress because you battled through this to get through this. You were just so determined. You were so on the hunch to get to this goal that you battled through everything you could get through to get this goal. That's what the hard path is about in my deck. And you have the leaf card. So the leaf card basically means is that you have completed a cycle. You have grown up and become that inner oak tree. But now you are starting to realize that everything has a cycle, and even some of the things that we have learned in the past must eventually fall away so that we can learn new good things. We are all just, in the end, going back to the earth eventually. Now, this means basically that you are coming up with some kind of a change in your life, and you have to start deciding where this leaf is going to blow, because you're the person who's going to be in the wind for a while, because you feel like maybe you don't have control over it. The leaf rides the wind. It surfs the wind. It decides where it wants to go because of its shape, its size, its beauty. It still has color and flourish in it for quite a long time. And when it's all done blowing, that beautiful journey that you have just started upon, when you're finally done with that, that means that somewhere down the line that's going to help somebody else too, because you blew that piece of you to a different place. So basically saying that some part of you is going out to the world and it's going to make a change for the better there. Sometimes that might be hard for you to understand that you have made a difference. What's your unseen path? Now, your unseen path is that one thing that's been right in front of your nose the whole time that we keep getting told over and over again. That thing we want to realize that, hey, if I just took a step back and looked at, whoa, that's what I've been missing my whole life. It's a little bit of your easy path, a little bit of your hard path. And when you get a card like this in this part of the deck, that means an unseen path is that, but you got my easy path card or my weight path card in that position. That means that maybe what this is kind of telling you is that your unseen path is sometimes you have to realize the picture that you are presenting is worth it. That is your unseen path, that you are the thing that you want to represent. This is your gift to the world, and this is what you can give to the world, but you don't think that this is enough. This is enough. Now, the unseen path for you to do is go out there and share that with others. Now, are you going to do that a little bit more by stoking your fire a little bit more? Or are you going to be that change is going to go somewhere and going to make a difference somewhere down the road? So that's kind of like saying, hey, you've got lots of options here. Why are you waiting for the thing you already know you have? Let's get going. So would you like to go with your leap of faith card next? Or would you like to go with your where you feel at most home card or your home card next? Okay, leap of faith card. So in my deck, a leap of faith card is where you're jumping into. We all have this idea that a leap of faith is this thing that we don't know where we're jumping into. No, you know what you're jumping into. You just don't know how you're gonna land. That's why it's a leap of faith, not a land of faith. Because when you're taking that jump, you have an idea of what you're jumping into. You're just not sure where you're gonna land once you make that leap. So, what's your leap of faith card telling you to do? I think you've been putting a lot of protective barriers around yourself right now, so much so that you've gotten to this point where you've now become this crystalline form. And if people are starting to shy away from you and they're starting to become a little bit standoffish from you lately, maybe it's because you felt the need to protect yourself so much now from all of the hurt that you are kind of frozen in this really bad place of not quite fear, not quite anxiety, not quite depression, but you're in that one moment where it's kind of like, nothing can hurt me now, and I have protected myself so nothing can hurt me. But that also means you can't feel anything anymore. Maybe you feel dull of the senses and stuff like that. Your edges feel a little sharp. You've crystallized. So that's a layer of protection that we all can get to sometimes, where we are feeling like we have to be ultra safe and protective of ourselves. But the problem with it is we can kind of come off as coldish or a little bit standoffish, like people feel like they're attacking us and they're not even trying to attack us because they're not doing anything to try to attack us. They're just talking to us. We're taking it the wrong way. So my crystallized card is basically saying what you might need to worry about is thawing out some of those outward experiences that you don't need to have to always take that leap of faith with. Is maybe now you need to start trusting people a little bit more and not be so standoffish with people again. So maybe you need to start doing a little bit of more trusting of people. Then where are we to go with your home card? And where do we feel at most home at? You're feeling the most at home when you're building within yourself and you're starting to build yourself into what you want to be. So the journey of creation for you within yourself, it's the coming up with the idea, putting the plan into action, watching the plan go and be fulfilled, and then sitting back, relaxed, and going, oh, look what I've done. Well, that's the whole process. That process in between is the build part. The part done part, when you have the wall, isn't as exciting as the getting the wall ready to be built, or the actual putting down the stones or whatever. So within yourself, you're kind of building up this this protective barrier, but it's not just one thing. It's got little different parts of growth within it. You have a strong barrier to protect yourself, but you also have this growth that's coming in inside and allowing you to not only see the pretty picture, but also to be well rounded. So basically, your home card is basically saying, hey, you like the journey. Sometimes the destination is a little disappointing once you get there, but that's part of life because we don't know what the result of something is going to be until we are done with the journey. And sometimes it's more fun to go on the quest than it is to beat the monster, because once the monster's beaten, you have to either restart the game in a different, harder, more difficult way, just to make it fun again. I can only play this on easy mode so long. So when I look at your whole reading here and ask myself what your kind of future is kind of basically saying is, it looks like you've got all you need from your past to tell you what is going to be going on to your future. Please keep in mind your own picture of what you're presenting to yourself. That is going to be reflected what everyone else sees out into the world. Make sure you're stoking your own energy fire. That way you keep the energy up, you keep the fortitude, you keep that energy, that drive going, but you're also accepting of the change that's kind of coming. So allowing yourself to blow where you may. And when you land, maybe you will add something to someone else's story. You don't have to wait for the answer anymore because it's already there for you. You just have to accept that picture means more to you than you think it does. And stop waiting around for there to be an outward answer. You are enough of an answer. And if you want to take a leap of faith with anything, stop holding yourself in fear and trying to protect yourself all the time. Take a chance and trust some people once in a while, because that's the only way you're ever going to grow and learn how to trust people is by practicing doing that. So that's kind of what I see in your card there for you today there, son. I hope that brings you some thing to think about, maybe something you should be journeying on or doing or thinking about. I just hope it brings you to the best day ever. I hope that every day can be your best day ever if you want it to be so. So remember, no matter what I tell you here today, you have the right and responsibility to go live the best one ever. You're very welcome, son. I'm glad I could help you today. And I know I had Kendra, or if you're still here on Twitch there, Chan, 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 are you still with us? And if you guys thought I did a good job today, or there's something that you would like to pay me in some way, you can send me money through my Cash app if you would like to. But more than anything, you can send me a follow, a like, a subscribe, a bat signal, a good review on any of my social channels here. If you guys want to do that, I've explored lots of different forms of payment. So that, and there's a little bit here. If you guys want to check out more about me and leave me a comment or a review, let people know how well I am doing, and maybe I will get a couple of things for me to go out there and earn just a buck or two here or there, maybe get enough money for cigarette money or whatever. But that's about it. I do this to help people. I don't do this to try to always earn money. I'm more trying to be your life coach, your spiritual guru for the day, whatever way you need to. So just kind of letting you know there. And I was going to be just saying here. So now we've got about 14 more minutes left, guys. And then I'm going to go lay down for today because I had a lot of really busy stuff going on yesterday. And I am in a little bit of pain because the weather decided to do something weird again. Hey, Misery, how you doing today? How are you doing this fine day? I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Well, if you want a reading, now is a good time to ask for one because I am starting to get down to the last couple minutes here that I felt like I could be on today. And then I'm going to go smoke me some 420 and go into the sweet, sweet abyss of not feeling any more pain. So, okay, what kind of a reading do you want? Past, present, future? Or do you want the bigger one? Okay, past, present, future. Okay, then we go. How many times do you want me to shuffle? 1 through 10. Okay, 1, 2, 3. How many times? What card number should you pick? 1 through 52. That's where your journey begins. What number? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay, so here we go for you today. What you need to know about the past here is okay. So give me a second here. Let me get you a little bit bigger of a screen here. So just give me 1 second while I fix it here. Come on, come on, come on. Of course, you don't want to be like. Come on. My mouse does not like me because my batteries are starting to die. Aha! There we go. Okay, so your past. So in your past, you have basically become the leaf once again. That means you have spent all of this energy growing and fulfilling what kind of a destiny that you've been fulfilling. We have more than just one destiny in a lifetime. We have different journeys that take us to different places, different destinies, different parts of the story. So you've kind of completed one part of the story. Now it's time to start venturing forward to the newest part of your journey. That means an old thing must die and find a place for it to be able to turn back into the earth and become a part of a new, sustainable, green place to grow again. So that old thing needs to be left behind in order for you to start growing new leaves somewhere down the road. In order for you to do that, you must allow the old ones to finally blow away off into the wind. So basically, it's this kind of saying is it's time to let go of some of those baby bad old habits or things that you don't feel like you need anymore. Let them go return back to the earth so that the new things you want to do in your life or in your past can start growing in its place now next year around when it's time to grow again. And it is that time. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. So in your present right now, what that has led to, so that has probably happened already, and now you are starting to grow once again because now you are an inner oak once again. That inner oak is always about opening that space wide and getting ready to put in the other aspects of who we are. Like we all have a base, the base of what we are. We know what kind of tree we are. We know what kind of growth pattern we're going to have. We know what our leaves are going to look like. We know all the stuff about ourselves, but that stuff that goes on the inside of us that we have to decide on a day-to-day basis, that's what it's all about, the inner growth and inner oak that you are, because all of that stuff is going to be moving forward into that new transition of you growing within yourself again. So all that little furniture like you that I keep telling you you're going to be putting in, well, that's the decisions you are making of, what kind of a person do I want myself to start being more like? And do I like this furniture which is nice, big, and comfy? I want to be open, want to be colorful, want to be full of lots of different things. You're trying to decide what's going to go inside of that yourself so that you can be a whole product, not just, so you're letting go of the old, you're accepting the new, what's kind of coming for you in your future, and what may you need to be warned about or worried about. Um, this card, when it's in the future card, I like to give out a little caveat of a warning. There may be something illegal that you're thinking about doing that you know is wrong, that you shouldn't be doing of any kind. Now is not the time to start exploring your dark side of the half of who you are. This is my brother's card now. My brother did a really bad crime in the past. He paid a really big price for it. And then he had to go away for a while, come back, and then he had to take certain classes. He had to be certain places, certain times. He got his freedom taken away from him because he was doing something stupid he knew was wrong. And I'm not saying that you're headed in that direction. I'm just saying be careful of who you trust and what kind of feelings you think you need to go do, because not all paths are going to be good paths, even though, and I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that it might be something that within yourself that you knowingly know is wrong. Maybe something you're doing to yourself because it was what he hurt himself on, not necessarily what you're hurting somebody else. He hurt himself more because he's the one who has to live with this every single day now. It was done once to someone once. They have to live with that for the rest of their lives, but now he can't go back and change it. All I'm just saying is maybe there's something in your life that you might not be worth the trouble of going through. If you know this isn't going to work out, why go through the trouble of doing it in the first place? But what I was going to get to around that is what you are going to start doing now, though, is if this event has already happened or something like this event makes you feel like this event, it's now to start to step out of yourself and gather that new, fresh rain in the air once again. It's now to embrace that freedom again and start a brand new life all over again so that you can express yourself in a new, healthier way. He changed his life for the positive. He might have done something in the past that wasn't so great, but he turned his life around to become more positive. And that's where I wanted to get to the most part of the reading was he turned his life around to be what he wanted it to be, not defined by the thing he did wrong anymore or the thing that he may have thought he did wrong. So don't let your past define you. Start moving forward, learning how you can not only heal yourself but others around you by doing that self-work for yourself. What does this all have to do with anything? Okay, good. Well, what's the destiny card teaching for you? It really is something is saying that you're not letting go of something. You got my death card now. That doesn't mean your death. That means something in your life has to die. You have to hold a funeral for something that you are not have held on to for such a long time now, then you haven't finished the grieving process of letting this thing go. So what you are doing in your life right now is you're gathering up all these knickknacks and things that are going on in your life, and you are starting to build up, and you say, I need to hold on to this because it's precious to me. No, you need to hold a funeral for that stuff and let it go, because until you've mourned it, celebrated it, and moved past it, you can't begin to start healing yourself, because you have to let that old thing die in order for you to accept the new birth that's about to befall you. So that's basically kind of what this is kind of showing you. So it's a lot of change coming your way, but it looks like you're in control of the change. You know what the right thing for you to do is. Don't listen to the evil voices in your head. Listen to the ones that are telling you to do the good things that are going to be good for you to change. Let go of those bad old habits. They might not be serving you anymore. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there in your reading there, Misery. You're very welcome. Krishna, I think I said that right. Krishna. Just we'll do a one card reading for you today. So I want you to do is to tell me Pick a number 1 through 52, and we'll see where your answer is here. I think you kind of asked this question. To pick a number 1 through 52. I need you to pick a number, though, in order for me to give you your answer. 1 through 10, if that's what you want to do, but just give me a number 1 through 52. It does. 16. Thank you. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Okay, so here is the answer. Okay, so here's your answer, one card answer, okay, and hopefully this gives you a clear understanding. It looks like you have to let things develop here, because fermentation in my deck is all about letting things happen naturally. If you're pushing the issue too much, if you don't let things develop naturally, you don't let that fermentation process begin. Remember, you have to let those hops come together and meld with the other ingredients. You have to let those sugars and those yeast break things down in order for that to become a nice, smooth, brilliant, good relationship you want it to be. In order for that to work, you have to slow down and let things happen naturally. Stop being in such a rush, because it's going to take some time for that to work. If you want it to work, it will, but you're going to have to put it into time and patience to allow it to happen naturally, because if you go too quickly, you don't end up with a good product that you're going to have to throw away. And if you let it go too long, you're going to end up with something that's going to get everybody way too drunk, and then you're going to make those mistakes. So just kind of understand those things there, that, that's kind of what your answer is saying is, hey, let things develop naturally here. Let things kind of, let that fermentation process build up. Hey, you know what? The longer you have that on the stove, building up that heat, when it's finally to be big, ready to drink, boy, will you enjoy the full flavor of what you have created. That's kind of the way I'd like to say it there. So you have to be in control of letting things happen the way they are going to happen. All right, you guys. I really appreciate everyone being here today. If you're on Twitch, we are going to raid out to a different channel here real quick. So we're going to go pick on somebody, one of my friends here, if they allow me to go say hi real quick, and then we will go from there. So I'm just trying to see if I have anybody out here who I haven't said hi to in a while. Okay, I haven't said hi to them for a while. And then we'll have you guys here a different day. All right, I really do appreciate you guys. Oops, not that one. So I really hope you guys enjoy this day today. May today be your best one ever. See you guys next time. Thank you so very much. Have a great day.